Imagine waking up to find that a quarter of your hometown's coastline has vanished. That's exactly what happened in Ernakulam, Kerala. Over the last 35 years, this district lost about 25% of its shoreline, a dramatic, measurable change that's both local and nationally relevant. This isn't just a number, it's a transformation you can see on satellite images and maps. Today, we'll explore how this happened, what it means for people and nature, and why it matters far beyond Kerala. Let's begin by looking at the evidence, the maps and satellite images that reveal this stunning loss. Between 1988 and 2023, Ernakulam's coastline shrank by nearly a quarter. This isn't just a statistic, it's a visible change confirmed by the Times of India and supported by satellite imagery. The transformation is clear when you compare maps from 1988 and 2023. What was once a continuous stretch of land is now fragmented, with beaches and habitats lost to the sea. This dramatic shift is a wake-up call not just for Ernakulam but for all coastal regions facing similar threats. Let's dive deeper into what coastal erosion actually means. Coastal erosion is the process where waves, currents, and rising sea levels gradually wear away the land along the shore. It's a natural phenomenon, but it's often made worse by human activities. Storms, tides, and even the construction of sea walls or groynes can accelerate the loss. In Ernakulam, these forces have combined over decades, leading to the dramatic changes we see today. Understanding how erosion works is key to finding solutions. Let's break down the main causes and how they interact along the coast. Waves and currents are constantly shaping coastlines. Over time, they can erode beaches, cliffs, and dunes, especially during storms or high tides. Rising sea levels, driven by climate change, make the problem worse by allowing waves to reach further inland. In Ernakulam, these natural forces have been relentless, gradually eating away at the shore. But nature isn't the only player here. Human actions have also played a significant role. Next, we'll look at how people have influenced the coastline. Humans have tried to protect coastlines with structures like seawalls, groynes, and breakwaters. While these can shield certain areas, they often disrupt natural sand movement, causing erosion elsewhere. In Ernakulam, the construction of breakwaters and infrastructure has altered the flow of water and sand, sometimes making erosion worse in neighboring stretches. These interventions are a double-edged sword, offering protection in one place, but potentially increasing risk in another. Let's zoom in on Ernakulam to see which areas have been hit hardest. Munambam, at the northern tip of Ernakulam, has experienced some of the most severe erosion. Satellite maps show how the shoreline has receded over the years, with beaches shrinking and land disappearing. The construction of breakwaters here, intended to protect the harbor, has changed the natural movement of sand. As a result, some areas have gained sand while others have lost it rapidly. This patchwork effect is a clear example of how local interventions can have unintended consequences. Fort Kochi, a historic part of Ernakulam, has also seen dramatic changes. Once known for its wide beaches and vibrant waterfront, parts of Fort Kochi are now threatened by the advancing sea. Local residents and businesses have watched as the shoreline retreats, impacting tourism and daily life. The loss here isn't just about land, it's about culture, heritage, and livelihoods. Let's look at the broader impacts of coastal erosion on communities and ecosystems. People living along Ernakulam's coast, erosion isn't just a distant problem, it's a daily reality. Homes, businesses, and even schools have been threatened or lost to the sea. Some families have had to relocate while others live in constant fear of the next storm. The emotional and financial toll is immense, and the sense of loss goes beyond property. It's about losing a way of life, a connection to the land and sea that has lasted for generations. Coastal erosion doesn't just affect people, it also threatens vital ecosystems. Mangroves, which act as natural barriers against storms and erosion, are disappearing along with the shoreline. These habitats support a rich diversity of wildlife and protect inland areas from flooding. As mangroves vanish, the coast becomes even more vulnerable, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Protecting these ecosystems is crucial for both nature and community. Economic impact of coastal erosion is significant. Properties along the coast lose value as the shoreline retreats, and infrastructure like roads, bridges, and ports are at risk. In Ernakulam, some areas have seen entire stretches of road washed away, while others face costly repairs and maintenance. The financial burden falls on both individuals and local governments, making it a pressing issue for everyone involved. Ernakulam's story is not unique. Across India, from Kerala to West Bengal and Odisha, coastal erosion is reshaping the landscape. The Sundarbans, for example, are losing land at an alarming rate, threatening both people and wildlife. In Maharashtra, beaches are shrinking and fishing communities are under pressure. These parallels highlight the urgent need for national attention and coordinated action to protect India's coastline. Let's take a closer look at how Ernakulam compares to other eroding coasts in India. In the Sundarbans, rising sea levels and river changes are swallowing islands. Odisha faces frequent cyclones that accelerate erosion, while Maharashtra's urban development puts extra pressure on the shoreline. Each region has its own challenges, but the underlying issues, climate change, human intervention, and natural forces, are strikingly similar. Climate change is a major driver of coastal erosion. As global temperatures rise, so do sea levels, leading to more frequent and severe flooding. Warmer oceans also mean stronger storms, which can devastate coastlines in a matter of hours. In Ernakulam and beyond, the effects of climate change are becoming impossible to ignore. Addressing this challenge requires both local and global solutions. An approach to fighting coastal erosion is soft engineering, using natural materials and processes to protect the shore. Techniques like beach nourishment, where sand is added to eroded areas, and planting vegetation to stabilize dunes can be effective. These methods work with nature rather than against it, offering a more sustainable way to defend coastlines. In Ernakulam, some pilot projects are testing these ideas with promising results. Storing mangroves is another powerful tool in the fight against erosion. Mangroves act as natural buffers, absorbing wave energy and trapping sediment. In places where mangroves have been replanted, the shoreline is more stable and resilient. Ernakulam has seen some success with mangrove restoration projects, but scaling up these efforts is essential for long-term protection. Sometimes the best solution is to move people and infrastructure away from vulnerable areas, a strategy known as managed retreat. While it's a difficult decision, it can save lives and resources in the long run. In Ernakulam, some communities have already relocated, while others are considering it as erosion continues. Managed retreat requires careful planning and support to ensure that affected people can rebuild their lives safely. Effective policies are crucial for managing coastal erosion. Governments at all levels need to coordinate efforts, enforce regulations, and invest in research and monitoring. In India, some states have developed coastal zone management plans, but implementation remains a challenge. Strong governance can make the difference between losing ground and building resilience. Countries around the world are facing similar challenges and have developed innovative solutions. The Netherlands, for example, uses a combination of engineering and nature-based approaches to protect its low-lying coast. In the US, managed retreat and wetland restoration are gaining ground. By studying these examples, Ernakulam and other Indian regions can adapt and apply the best ideas to their own unique situation. In Ernakulam, several pilot projects are testing new ways to combat erosion. These include planting mangroves, building small-scale barriers, and restoring dunes. Early results are encouraging, showing that a mix of approaches can slow or even reverse shoreline loss. Community involvement is key, as local knowledge and participation make these projects more effective and sustainable. Fight against coastal erosion isn't just about technology or policy, it's about people. Local communities are often the first to notice changes and the most affected by them. In Ernakulam, residents, fishermen, and business owners are working together to protect their coast. Their efforts, from beach cleanups to advocacy, are making a real difference and inspiring others to get involved. Raising awareness about coastal erosion is essential for long-term change. Schools, NGOs, and media outlets are helping to educate the public about the causes and consequences of erosion. In Ernakulam, educational campaigns have encouraged people to take action, whether by supporting restoration projects or advocating for better policies. Knowledge is power, and informed communities are better equipped to protect their coastline. Technology plays a vital role in monitoring and managing coastal erosion. Satellite imagery, drones, and sensors provide real-time data on shoreline changes. In Ernakulam, these tools have helped track erosion, plan interventions, and measure the success of restoration projects. As technology advances, it will become even more important in the fight to save our coasts. Media outlets like the Times of India have played a crucial role in bringing attention to Ernakulam's disappearing shoreline. By highlighting the scale of the problem and sharing personal stories, the media helps build public support for action. Coverage also puts pressure on policymakers to prioritize coastal protection and invest in solutions. Economic stakes of coastal erosion are high. Tourism, fishing, and shipping are all vital to Ernakulam's economy and all depend on a stable coastline. As beaches shrink and infrastructure is threatened, jobs and livelihoods are at risk. Investing in coastal protection isn't just about saving land, it's about securing the future for thousands of families and businesses. Ernakulam's coastline is rich in history and culture. From ancient ports to vibrant festivals, the shore has shaped the identity of the region. As erosion threatens landmarks and traditions, there's a growing sense of urgency to preserve not just the land but the stories and heritage that come with it. Protecting the coast means protecting a way of life. The loss of coastal habitats has a direct impact on wildlife. Birds, fish, and other animals depend on beaches, mangroves, and wetlands for food and shelter. As these habitats disappear, so do the species that rely on them. Conservation efforts are needed to protect both the land and the creatures that call it home. Scientists are working hard to understand the complex processes behind coastal erosion. By studying wave patterns, sediment movement, and the effects of human activity, researchers can develop better models and forecasts. This knowledge is essential for designing effective interventions and predicting future changes along the coast. Regular monitoring is key to managing coastal erosion. In Ernakulam, teams use a combination of field surveys, satellite data, and community reports to track changes. This information helps authorities respond quickly to new threats and adjust their strategies as needed. Ongoing monitoring ensures that interventions are working and that resources are used effectively. Ignoring coastal erosion comes at a high price. Without intervention, more land will be lost, communities will be displaced, and economic losses will mount. The longer we wait, the harder and more expensive it becomes to fix the problem. Taking action now is not just wise, it's essential for the future of Ernakulam and other coastal regions. Resilience is about more than just surviving storms, it's about adapting and thriving in the face of change. In Ernakulam, building resilience means strengthening natural defenses, supporting communities, and planning for the future. By investing in both people and nature, the region can weather the challenges ahead and emerge stronger. Engineers are developing new ways to protect coastlines, from flexible barriers that move with the waves to artificial reefs that break up storm energy. These innovations offer hope for places like Ernakulam, where traditional methods may not be enough. Combining engineering with ecological approaches can create more effective and lasting solutions. Restoring dunes, wetlands, and mangroves is one of the most effective ways to protect coastlines. These natural features absorb wave energy, reduce flooding, and provide habitat for wildlife. In Ernakulam, restoration projects are helping to rebuild these defenses, offering hope for a more resilient future. No single group can solve coastal erosion alone. Partnerships between government, scientists, communities, and businesses are essential. In Ernakulam, collaborative efforts are leading to more effective solutions and greater public support. Working together, these groups can share knowledge, pool resources, and drive real change. Adapting to a changing coastline means being flexible and open to new ideas. In Ernakulam, adaptation includes everything from updating building codes to developing early warning systems for storms. By staying ahead of the curve, the region can reduce risks and protect both people and property. Young people in Ernakulam are stepping up to lead the fight against coastal erosion. Through school projects, environmental clubs, and social media campaigns, they're raising awareness and inspiring action. Their energy and creativity are vital for building a more sustainable future. Ongoing research is essential for understanding and addressing coastal erosion. Scientists in Ernakulam and beyond are studying everything from wave dynamics to the effectiveness of different interventions. Their findings help guide policy and inform the public, ensuring that decisions are based on the best available evidence. Securing funding for coastal protection is a major challenge. Governments, NGOs, and the private sector all have a role to play in financing projects. In Ernakulam, creative funding models are being explored, from public-private partnerships to community fundraising. Investing in the coast is an investment in the future. Laws and regulations can help protect coastlines by controlling development, enforcing setbacks, and preserving natural areas. In India, coastal regulation zones set limits on construction and activities near the shore. Effective enforcement is key to ensuring these rules make a real difference. Behind every statistic is a human story. Families in Ernakulam have lost homes, livelihoods, and a sense of security. The emotional impact of watching the sea claim your land is profound. Addressing coastal erosion means supporting those who are most affected, helping them rebuild and adapt. The future of Ernakulam's coastline depends on the choices made today. By combining science, community action, and smart policy, it's possible to slow or even reverse the loss. The challenges are great, but so are the opportunities for innovation and collaboration. The next generation will inherit the results of our efforts. Protecting coastlines is a shared responsibility. Governments, scientists, businesses, and citizens must work together to find solutions. In Ernakulam, collaboration has already led to promising results, but much more remains to be done. By joining forces, we can build a safer, more resilient future for all. Despite the challenges, there is hope. Restoration projects, community action, and new technologies are making a difference. Every meter of shoreline saved is a victory, and every partnership formed brings us closer to lasting solutions. The story of Ernakulam's disappearing coast is still being written, and there's still time to change the ending. Ernakulam's experience offers valuable lessons for other coastal regions in India. The importance of early action, community involvement, and flexible solutions cannot be overstated. By learning from each other and sharing best practices, India can protect its coastlines for generations to come. Everyone has a role to play in protecting the coast, from policymakers and scientists to local residents and business owners. By working together, we can create a future where people and nature thrive side by side. The story of Ernakulam is a reminder that our actions today will shape the world of tomorrow. Ernakulam's disappearing coastline is a powerful reminder of the urgent need to protect our shores. The loss of 25% of its coastline in just 35 years is a wake-up call for India and the world. By understanding the causes, supporting solutions, and working together, we can turn the tide on coastal erosion. The future of our coastlines and the communities that depend on them depends on what we do next.